just 2 days ago, I finished American Psycho, which is like a 400-page novel. And I was able to learn a lot from that. And I'm not going to speak about my passion for books and stuff like that. No, I want this video to be centered on what I was able to learn from reading that single book. So a lot of critics, a lot of people who have read the book or watched the movie think that it's very boring, though it's very funny, to be honest. Not the psychopathic elements of the book or the movie, but the message that it dignifies, right? So Patrick Bateman is a character who but his entire self-worth depends on what he owns, his material possessions, and he has idealized his version of life around what he owns. So for him, this is what truly matters. And then there's this aspect of just women and other things that adds to his psychopathic intentions. So keeping that aside, if we focus on the person, Patrick Bateman, he's a beautifully written character. Spoilers ahead, but there's a scene where people in his office were exchanging or just showing their cards, right?
New card. What do you think?
Whoa, very nice. Look at that.
Picked them up from the printers yesterday.
It's very cool, Bateman, but that's nothing. Look at this.
That is really nice.
I can't believe that Bryce prefers Van Patten's card to mine.
Let's see Paul Allen's card.
Look at that subtle off-white coloring. The tasteful thickness of it. Oh my God. It even has a watermark.
So people were just showing that, and he felt so much jealousy when someone had a better font, or so when someone had a card that looked a bit better than his. Well, as a viewer, even in the scene from the movie, I haven't watched the movie, but I've watched the scene, you don't notice any difference in those cards. The cards are literally the same. But then this person is so psychotic, is so neurotic to the level where he analyzes everything so critically. And to him, it matters so much that he goes on to people. And there's also another thing that the book shows, which is that everyone gets each other's names wrong. It shows how people in the American society, as portrayed in the book, do not really give a shit about anyone. Like, nobody cares enough to study someone's face and assign a name to it. People just don't care. And there are so many elements to it that I personally relate to as well. And then the character of Patrick Bateman feels so much isolation from those people who are not able to, recall him for who he is. People refer to Patrick as someone else, and it's so funny. Like, imagine someone coming up to me and being like, "Yo, Samuel, what's up? How's your girlfriend Evelyn?" or something like that. And I'm like, and Patrick Bateman sometimes plays along with this, and he's like, "Oh, my girlfriend is doing really great," when he doesn't have one. You get what I mean? And there are a few characters in the story, in the novel, who actually do realize Patrick for who he is. Not realize Patrick for who he is, but like, they at least are able to recognize him from the masses. And to him, those people, even though Patrick is a human being with no emotions of a human being or no characteristics of a human being, he cannot relate to the human, he still feels or views those people who care about him differently, and he doesn't go to kill them. That's the thing, that's the beauty of it all. He's highly materialistic, and I believe that almost everyone in our society is very materialistic. People place almost all of their self-worth on their material possessions. Cars, clothes. In the book, right, Patrick Bateman consciously mentions that, every time he sees someone, he labels their clothes and where they probably bought it from. Like the source, right? So it's like, if someone sees me, it's described like this in the book, yeah? I just met Lirit. He's wearing an Argentinian jersey that he must have gotten from X store. And he's wearing brown cargo pants with this and that from this place, and so on. He describes each and every person up to so much depth as to what they're wearing and stuff and where they got it from, which highlights his state of mind. That's all he cares about. And it shows how people lived so lavishly, and how people were so rich in the American society. That book is actually so beautiful. You all must read it, okay? And it's a savage exegesis of the society we have created. This is basically the society we have created. You can't blame Patrick Bateman for the character that he is. He is an outcome of everything that's been happening in the society. We come to believe that we need these things to feel worthy. We buy iPhones, we do stuff to flex on others consciously or not consciously, and that's a thing within ourselves. It's a nature. You got to accept that nature within you. And when you do accept this nature within you, you're able to do something about it, right? Sit down and think about all of the stuff that you own. Does it all truly matter to you? Well, to an extent, because we do need things to survive and live and to feel good about ourselves. But then if you're not able to feel good about yourselves without all of these material possessions, like let's say someone takes it all away, are you still able to feel good about yourself? Well, you can be absolutely truthful about it. For me personally, if someone told me that all of my material possessions, including my YouTube channel and everything, was to be taken away, would I feel happy? Hell no, I won't be happy. Without the clothes that I own, without the camera, without the tripod, without the phone that I have and everything, I won't be that happy. Maybe I will try to make something out of my life from working out and just doing stuff, but then that won't truly make me happy. Material possessions is what makes me happy. Money is what makes people happy. Owning of that, power, status, symbol and everything. And it's the truth. And it's shown so beautifully in the book to an extreme extent, where you do kind of relate to the character Patrick Bateman, but at the same time you do not. And you're able to critically view him and where he comes from and stuff like that. And you're probably even able to empathize with him. He tries so hard to imitate human emotions, and it's seen in the book. He meets someone and he forces a smile. He sometimes forces questions and emotions, and it's just so funny to me. I want to speak more about this book, but let that be for another video. I want to speak about the aspect of materialism as shown in the book and what I have to say about it. And just what I just said towards the end of putting up an image so that people are not able to see who you are truly from within. And how we all do consciously do that. We are not perfect human beings. We are consciously trying to fit into a society, and we must acknowledge that fact and accept it. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.